Well, well, well. I can see me. What a relief. I also watched the video from yesterday afterward. I know I told you about the humidity, but I failed to warn you that it really does funky things to my hair. Anyway, welcome. It is raining here, which is a delight. And we'll talk more about that. The theme for today. Oh, we are still on What's Your Path and chapter 17 thereof. I mean, of your path in the Bhagavad Gita. Woo. I think I'm having a bit of a migraine from the weather, so please bear with me. And maybe bear with yourself as we talk once more about the idea of austerity in yoga. And the Sanskrit word tapas has a connotation of heat or fire, the idea that fire is transformative. So we're putting ourselves through some kind of fiery episode. It can be, as we talked about, verbal austerities, in which we manage our speech closely, and that can be extremely transformative. It can be mental austerities, harder, in which we try to manage the mind. And then this third set actually comes first in the Gita, because the idea in the Gita is it's easier to manage the more gross, like the body, than the more subtle, like the mind. That comes up in other yogic texts as well. And physical austerity, I kind of saved to last because so many of us have an idea of what physical austerity should be when we're thinking about yoga. We might hear about these people that fast, or I've mentioned, standing on one foot for months at a time, or, being outside in the rain on a video. That could be austerity, and that's not what the Gita says, though. The Gita's austerities are more subtle, but in my opinion, more difficult. So I will read you from Embracing the Song of Your Soul, both translations that I've done. One is more literal. It's got some Sanskrit in it. That way, if you know the Sanskrit, you've got the nuance. And then I'll do the more poetic, the less literal. Okay. It's verse 14 of chapter 17. Deva, Brahman, elder, guru, pujas, and shotsha, directness, ahimsa, and brahmacharya are tapas of the sharira. And in case you're like, what was that again? Here we go with some more English in it. Purity, directness, restraint, nonviolence, and worship of God, priests, teachers, and elders are called physical austerities. So the word puja actually in Sanskrit means something more along the line of blessing, but I put in worship because that may be more accessible to many Westerners. Anyhow, so these are physical austerities. It's not getting strong. It's not getting a different weight. It's not getting more flexible. It's not being able to hold any pose for a long period of time. It's being pure. That can mean outer cleanliness, or being careful with what you put in your body in the first place. Is that pure? Being direct, truthful, not necessarily forceful, but if you feel a certain way, you're direct about it. You don't beat around the bush. Restraint, brahmacharya, often translated as celibacy, but it means more than that. It's any kind of distraction from sensual desire. Nonviolence, ahimsa, and honoring whatever you think of as the supreme, priests, teachers, elders. That's physical austerity. Isn't that, to me, that's a very interesting set of ideas. I would never have thought that in a bunch of years. I invite you to contemplate that today. Okay, what can you do with this idea? How can you use this physical vehicle to create the fire of transformation. If you're thinking, I have no idea, here's a mudra that may help. It was mentioned purity in the verse as one of the methods of physical austerities. Vishuddi mudra, which literally means special purification mudra. And it's also Vishuddhi or Vishuddha, some people say, is associated with the throat. It's thumbs to the I'm so glad I can see myself right now, base of the inside of the ring fingers, right in there. That could be hard to get to. You might have to hold it with the other hand or just imagine, getting as close as you can. You do that with both hands and then the hands rest wherever feels good. Okay, so Vishuddhi mudra. Maybe it is easier when I can't see myself. I don't know. Shall we practice? Oh, hello. The tech has to stay safe. We'll see if I melt like sugary candy. Switch. So I know a lot of us in the West consider, like, when it's raining, we go, oh, darn, what a day. It's rainy. It's a rainy day. But from what I understand from some teachers from India and having been in havans or fire rituals, we could call those, the rain is actually considered auspicious because it is purifying. So it is auspicious that on this day of talking about physical purity, we have, at least I have, rain to wash the body. And the Guardians are playing a new series starting tonight with one of their arch rivals, so maybe it will be good for them as well. Auspicious. Let's try meditation, Vishuddhi, or Vishuddha if you prefer, mudra. Here we go. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your practice today, and I hope given you something to contemplate as your day goes on. Physical austerities, what are they really, and how can you perhaps incorporate them onto your path? It's a wonderful opportunity to experiment with if the path of chapter 17 is the path for you. Look, I'm tall. Today's practice is dedicated to Zoe, Lance, Iain, Raegan, Montana, Annie, Emily, Chuck, and also to David Saltzberg. If you know who they are, you know why I'm saying this. And hopefully you get to see those, at least some of them, again very soon. Hope I'll get to see you again very soon as well. Until then.